Hello.
Yes.
I'm here with very special guest, civil rights movement icon, Sylvia Mendez.
Welcome, Ms. Mendez. And you'll be talking about the important contribution that Ms. Mendez, the impact that Ms. Mendez has had not only on California schools, but all schools across America.
Correct. So, good afternoon, Chair and members of the committee. I'm here to present Assembly Bill 1805, a bipartisan measure to ensure California students learn the trailblazing civil rights story of Mendez versus Westminster. I want to begin by accepting the committee amendment to AB 1805, which would amend the bill to instead require the Instructional Quality Commission the next time it recommends instructional material in history, social science for adoption to the State Board of Education. Consider in its evaluation criteria for instructional material contained on the Mendez versus Westminster case. This committee amendment would make the bill more effective and get Mendez versus Westminster case into California history textbook to better reach students and teachers. I want to thank the chair and committee staff for working with my office on this bill. I also want to thank Senator Tom Umber for his support of this measure and for his leadership in promoting awareness of this landmark court case. I'm deeply honored today to present this bill alongside with Sylvia and Sandra Mendez. Their parents, Gonzalo and Felicitas Mendez, alongside other Mexican-American families, successfully challenged the discriminatory policy of forced segregation in California school. Sylvia Mendez has become a civil rights icon, working to raise awareness of the Mendez versus Westminster case, and was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom by President Barack Obama. We can think of no better witness to explain the significance of the Mendez case. In 1943, the children of Mendez family were denied entry into the 17th Street School in Westminster, California, because they were Mexican American. The children were told instead they would have to attend the separate Mexican-only school. 9 years old Sylvia Mendez had to walk past the white school to the school of Mexican children further down the street. The Mendez family, along with other Mexican families, successfully challenged this discriminatory policy in court in the case now famously known as Mendez versus Westminster. 2 months after the Ninth Circuit Court ruled in favor of the family, Governor Earl Warren signed a bill that made California the first state to outlaw all public school segregation. Mendez versus Westminster was the first federal lawsuit openly to challenge separate but equal segregation in K-12 school. This landmark case led to California becoming the first state to outlaw all public school segregation, the end of segregated school for Mexican American children across the American Southwest, and paved the way for nationwide school desegregation by setting legal and strategic precedent for Brown versus Board of Education. As a former mayor of the city of Westminster, I know the power of the Mendez versus Westminster case. It is important for California students to learn the civil rights challenge faced by Mexican Americans in this state. California students would benefit from learning the historical link between Mendez versus Westminster and Brown versus Board of Education, and of how California led the way as the first state to outlaw all public school segregation. It passed AB 1805, will enshrine Mendez versus Westminster alongside Brown versus Board of Education in the state education curriculum. This legislation has no opposition. It is supported by the California Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, the state PTA, and various city and school districts, and enjoys support from a broad coalition of co-authors. Look forward to AB 1805 becoming law. In California, students learning the story of the Mendez family in California pivotal role in the civil rights movement.
Thank you very much. Ms. Mendez, welcome. Could you pull the microphone so that the rest of the world can hear you?
Thank you for allowing us to be here today. It's an honor to be here today to hear our story. I've been going around the country for over 20 years talking about Mendez versus Westminster and the importance of integration that happened at that time. And as you all know, we are far from it. We have de facto segregation at this time. But I still think it's so important for everybody to know the possibilities that we have in this wonderful country of ours, how anything is possible, as it was at that time in 1947 when my parents fought Mendez versus Westminster. I think it's so important for students of all nationalities to know that in this wonderful, powerful country of ours, anything is possible, and education is the number one. And I call myself an education advocate. I am not a civil rights activist. I am an education advocate because I learned very young that education will give you anything you want. And it has not been easy, and I know how hard it is for some students. So I go around the country talking about the story, Mendez versus Westminster, how my parents fought to have equal education for all. And I want all the students in this wonderful country of ours to know that it is possible for all of them to have that same equal education at this time. And I want them to know the roots of how it all happened, how Mendez versus Westminster was started, and how California was the first state to be integrated. And how can it not be in our history books that California, out of all the states, was the first state that our governor integrated? Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you for sharing.
My sister will say a few words.
Thank you. Again, it's an honor to be here. It's been an honor to be just among all these people. Such accomplished people. I was educated, my name is Sandra Mendez Duran. I was educated in California, of course, and I did not learn about the case. I am the youngest daughter of Gonzalo and Felicitas Mendez. Did not learn about the case till I went to college in UC Riverside and took a Chicano studies class, because not only was it not taught in schools, my parents did not discuss the case at home. Because one of the things that's not talked about is that fighting this case was a true struggle for them. They took everything they had, including all their finances, everything they had to fight this case. When they won, they moved back to Santa Ana, and life just went on, and life was difficult, and they worked hard. So they never talked about it because they did not realize the impact this case had. So I was away at UC Riverside back in the days before cell phones, had to stand in line at the dorm to call my mother and say, I am reading this book. And there are not a lot of people named Gonzalo and Felicitas Mendez. So could this be us? And my mother said, it's in a book? And I said, yeah, Mom, is this real? And she said, yes. We fought because they wouldn't let your siblings into the same school as the white kids. I had to learn this in college, and only because I took a Chicano studies class. It was not part of the regular curriculum. I am asking that you consider putting this in the school books because it is so important for kids, again, of all nationalities to know this story, because it is not a Latino story. It is about a Caucasian banker. It is about a Japanese family that were interred. There were a lot of things happening in the country at the time. It is about a Japanese family. It's about a Jewish lawyer. It's about people of all colors and all ethnicities coming together to right a wrong. And that's the story of Mendez. And that a young couple were just not highly educated people, not people of wealth, but just everyday hardworking people saying, this is not right. What can we do? They had nothing, no college education, no backers, no supporters. They had to fight to get the other families involved, but when the other families stepped up, they fought and they won this case. And I, as the daughter, am extremely proud. But as a student of California, I'm proud of California. I'm proud of everybody working together. And I think that it is everywhere we've been all over this country, from the White House, everywhere else. People say this story motivates them. And that's why we want this story told, because it motivates everyone to know how things can happen and that people can change things. So I appreciate your time. I appreciate Rita's all the efforts and all the work that's gone into. Thank you for allowing us to be here.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for sharing. It's our honor to have you here in the hearing room here today. I would like to invite any witnesses or any public comment in support of this measure to please come forward.
Chair and members, John Winger on behalf of the California Charter School Association in support.
Martha Zaragoza Diaz, representing the Delta Kappa Gamma, California, in support.
Jennifer Baker, representing the California Association for Bilingual Education and Support.
Good morning, Mr. Chair and members. Tristan Brown with CFT, a Union of Educators and Classified Professionals. We apologize for a late letter, our state council this past weekend, so every bill today has a little asterisk that we sorry missed the deadline, but happy to support. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair and members. Pamela Gibbs, representing the Los Angeles County Office of Education. We are so proud to join in support of this bill.
Good afternoon, Sarah Lillis, Executive Director of Teach Plus California, in strong support. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Casey Elliott on behalf of the City of Westminster, the Coast Community College District, and the Rancho Santiago Community College District in strong support. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Any witnesses in opposition to the bill? Seeing none. Any public comments in opposition to the bill? Seeing none, let me bring it back to the committee. Ms. Bonta.
Thank you so much. I'm very proud and honored to be a principal co-author on this bill. Thank you, Mr. Ta, for allowing us an opportunity to speak to this important bill. We all know Little Rock 9. We all know Ruby Bridges. We all know Brown v. Board of Education. I, as a law school student, learned for the first time about Mendez v. Westminster as a Black Latina when I was in law school. And I learned about the critical and really life-saving actions of the Mendez family as a Mexican-American tenant farm family, ensuring that I had the ability to be at that law school. So I want to thank you all for bringing forward this measure, and I believe that every student starting in elementary has the right to learn about this critical history and the importance of fighting for educational advocacy, education within, not under the ideal of separate but equal, but fully integrated educational opportunities for all. So thank you for bringing forward this bill.
Thank you. Mr. Alvarez.
Thank you very much. I want to thank the Mendez family for the courage to continue to share your story and continue to be education advocates for students of all backgrounds. Certainly admire the work that was done, and I'm sure your recognition with the presidential award is in honor of your parents and what that means to your family. So thank you for sharing your story. It reminds me a little bit of a history that I learned in San Diego of another case that isn't really well known, but it was Alvarez versus Lemon Grove, which I know you know well. No relation, by the way. Alvarez, not at all related, but that I also only learned in college, even though it happened literally in my own backyard. And so the courage of your family and their family, certainly Brown versus Board of Education would not have occurred without so much of the foundation in the 30s, in your case in the 40s, and ultimately to the decision. So I proud to support, and I would be honored to be added as a co-author to your bill, Mr. Ta. Thank you very much for bringing this forward.
Thank you. Ms. Addis.
No, I want to do a bit of a me too and say thank you so much. I'm a special education teacher by trade, and much of the desegregation for students with special needs is founded in this case, in Brown versus Board of Education, and other cases that desegregated prior to students with disabilities being included, and then worked for much of my career with students who are learning English as an additional language, and many of the gains we've made really goes back to this case and other desegregation cases. So I want to say a deep thank you to you and to your family for the work that is still changing lives for children today, and would be proud to co-author if you're accepting additional co-authors.
Thank you. Any other comments from the committee? Seeing none. Let's see. Before I go any further, let me ask the secretary to please call the roll to establish quorum.
Marisucci?
Here.
Marisucci here. Flora? Here. Flora here. Addis? Here. Addis here. Alvarez?
Present.
Alvarez here. Bonta?
Here.
Bonta here. Hoover? Here. Hoover here. McCarty?
All right, we have a quorum. Motion's been made and seconded. Mr. Ta, would you like to close?
Thank you so much. I ask for an aye vote. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Ta, for bringing this important measure forward. Thank you to the Mendez sisters for joining us today. I would also be honored if I could be added as a co-author to this important bill. Ms. Mendez, I think if you look behind you, you'll see many students who are part of your legacy. And so I hope that they all have an opportunity to meet you. Yes, motion's been made and seconded. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
File item 1, AB 1805. The motion is due pass as amended to appropriations. Marisucci?
Aye.
Marisucci, aye. Flora?
Aye.
Flora, aye. Addis?
Aye.
Addis, aye. Alvarez?
Aye.
Alvarez, aye. Bonta?
Aye.
Bonta, aye. Hoover? Aye. Hoover, aye. McCarty?
6-0, the bill is out. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. And hopefully you'll have a chance to meet some of the students. Thank you very much for joining us.